We're here in Woodstock, Canada, just feet away from where this RAV4 was birthed, to answer the question, why the heck is everyone buying the RAV4? And also, will they keep buying the 6th generation? We're one of the first ones to get to drive it, so let's see. For 2026, Toyota has redesigned the RAV4 and then redesigned the RAV4 and then also redesigned the RAV4 again. They made 3 of them for some reason. This right here is the core, which gets you a painted grille and a hammerhead design, and it's also my least favorite. Toyota also has the Woodland Edition RAV4, which gets you a 20mm lift, some all-terrain tires, and also a much better looking front grille in my opinion. And if you want to be much sportier on the road, they also have a sport version that gets you gloss black wheels and a much larger front grille. On our limited package, we get some 18-inch rims and also some Falcon Zeeks and 235 R18s. The proportions are almost identical to the last generation. Same wheelbase, same length, and depending on the trim, the same width. Except for the Woodland's a bit wider and the GR is also a little bit wider. In the rear of the car, we have quite a generous sized trunk, although this one's a little bit smaller than some of the other ones because we've got a subwoofer on the side. So if the size and the proportions, and also if we're honest, the design didn't change a whole lot, what has? Well, one thing that's quite a bit different is that they have completely killed the gas-only version of the RAV4. Where's my thingy? Ah! Now, I'm sure that killing the gas-only version of the RAV4 will increase the base price a little bit, but honestly, I am not super concerned. Everyone that I know that bought a gas-only version of the RAV4 wanted the hybrid, but just couldn't wait for it. It's actually wild that there is such a shortage of these things because at this plant, they're pumping one out every 58 seconds. What is in here is pretty complicated though. So we have our gas engine right here. It is 2.5 liters and it is connected to a clutch. And then that clutch is connected to an electric motor, and then an electric motor is connected to a wet clutch, which is connected to the eCVT, which then drives your wheels. Every single RAV4 that's getting sold in Canada though is all-wheel drive, and if you're listening really closely, I said nothing about a transfer case or a drive shaft while I was mentioning all of the complicated crap up here. That's because there is no drive shaft underneath there, and instead the rear of the car is powered entirely by a 40 kilowatt electric motor, which means that it feels like you're driving a front wheel drive car. You can't do any drifts, no big old dirty donuts in the snow, nothing like that. If you want to do that, I don't know, go get a Subaru, even though this really looks like one.
Or go steal a tray from McDonald's.
When you add together the gas motor and the electric motor and the other electric motor, you get a total of 236 horsepower, and apparently this will do a 0 to 60 of 6.8 seconds. The poor front left tire just had no grip at all. While we're in here, we might as well just look at a tiny bit of serviceability. It looks like it is super easy to get to your engine air filter, just 2 clips like that, and there she is. In here we can also see that you have a real dipstick, unlike those over at Mercedes, and you can fill up your oil right there. It is 0W8, so basically water. Now hopping into the rear seat of the 6th gen RAV4, I want to get out again because I'm not done ripping things apart. Underneath this is apparently the new hybrid battery, and I'm guessing if I just pull up on the seat, I can have a look at it.
Did you know this is a prototype, right?
I do know this is a prototype, which is why they won't be mad if we mess it up, because it's getting crushed anyway. Okay, turns out I just had to pull up really hard, but in here we can see the 1.1 kilowatt hour battery that's in the hybrid. It is much larger in the plug-in, of course, and also this is 248 volts, so I'm not going to be licking it. One thing that's pretty cool that we learned while we were in the plant is that all of their impacts actually are connected to the central computer via Bluetooth, and it records the torque of every single bolt. That means, say, if there's an issue in 3 years, they won't just know, you know, the week and the day that this battery was made, but the exact torque on every single bolt on it.
Nerd.
Yeah. Thanks to NordVPN for being today's video partner. NordVPN's goal is to make the internet a better place, and they can make it safer with just one click. If you're not aware, a VPN or virtual private network allows you to obfuscate your browsing data from ISPs and any advertisers that want to use your data to spam you. Even better, as a Canadian that watches content from all over the world, it really sucks when it's delayed getting licensed here. Like, oh hey, all of the internet, please don't discuss The Bear Season 3 until it's licensed for streaming here. Yeah, like that'll happen. But with NordVPN, it's very simple, just a couple of clicks and you can watch content from anywhere in the world. The internet is also full of fake shopping websites that mimic real shopping websites, but they have incredible deals or rare items. To prevent you from getting scammed by sites like this, Nord's Threat Protection Pro scans the websites, verifies that they're legit, and ensures that you aren't going to get screwed. These scam websites are so common that Nord's Threat Protection stopped 136 million scam websites from being visited in last January alone. So go to nordvpn.com/ziptietuning to get an exclusive deal and 4 months off. That's nordvpn.com/ziptietuning. Huge thanks to them for partnering us on this video, and back to the rest of the video. With the rear seat reinstalled, we can see that there is really quite good legroom right here. Also, you can recline these just a little bit, or de-recline them because they're already reclined, but you know, they go like that. Also, we have a nice little couple cup holders here, 2 15-watt chargers, and heat for the rear seats if you get this really fancy trim. I have plenty of headroom back here, and apparently this is also the first time that this plant will be installing panoramic sunroofs, and apparently they're also a real pain in the arse to tool up. Hopping into the driver's seat, it is pretty darn comfortable. Now it does have that kind of RAV4 thing where the seat itself is not super long, so if you haven't been very comfortable in like the last 3 generations, you will not be comfortable in this one, but also if you like your old RAV4 seats, these ones are also great too. Oh, Andy, do you know what I just realized?
Yeah?
Our limited trim has their fancy ass little chicken nugget here. All of the other ones had real shift knobs. They're so proud of their shift by wire, even though like, who wants this? What? Who needs the chicken nugget? It's so dinky feeling. I want the I'll pay less for that because that's how it works, I guess. Let's just copy Audi and VW. They've been doing real good and everybody loves all of their design choices in the last couple of years. I need to stop talking about the chicken nugget. The rest of the stuff in here is pretty good. In here for a gauge cluster, you get a 12.3-inch screen with no sun shielding around it. It's been pouring the whole time that we've been driving these, so I can't confirm if it is a problem when there's direct sunlight on this, but I do kind of wish they had a little something around here, but it is nice and functional, particularly they have a map now. As standard, you get a 10.5-inch touchscreen, but this being the fancy limited trim, this one is 12.9 inches, and honestly, I could not tell any difference between the two, unless like you're looking at them one after another. The 10.5 is absolutely fine. What wasn't fine though was the piddly 4 gigabytes of RAM that the last infotainment system had. Now that has been quadrupled to 16 gigabytes of RAM and also 256 gigabytes of storage, meaning that this car might be faster than your laptop. Get screwed. In here we also have dual optional Qi chargers, 5 USB-C ports, and a really neat center console. It opens that way, it opens this way, I think it opens another way. Oh geez, the whole thing just falls off. Okay, apparently you can reverse it, so now it's a much more sturdy table, I guess. Now I asked Toyota how they wanted me to get off of this curb, and they said just send it. So let's see if we can be the very first ones to get air in a 6th Gen 4.
Sorry,
Shut the f up, Toyota. All right, let's do it. Ha ha ha. She handles good. All right, now that we're on the highway, we can hear the really great thing about the 6th Gen RAV4. It no longer sounds like a tin can on the highway. They have put in so much effort changing the adhesives and the chassis stiffness and the sound deadening to make it so much nicer in here on the highway, and I really, really appreciate that. And what was even better is we were in the Woodland trim earlier today, and that one was even quieter and comfier. I guess the all-terrain tires probably have a bit more meat on them, and that somehow made it quieter. Normally you don't expect all-terrains to be better, but Yeah, I guess that's how it was. What also has been improved is the structural rigidity. Apparently it has 10% more torsional rigidity, and around the shock towers they have extra welds for 30% more stiffness around there. So let's fire into our corner here and see what that means in practice. It's actually going pretty good. Oh yes, incident detected. Thank you for my little good driving montage creator right here. But around corners, it is quite excellent. Every single time you get a little bit of slip on the tires, the dash cam's just like, all right, I'm gonna clip that for you. Now, while the steering was pretty okay in some tight corners, I don't like the feel all that much. On center, there is almost nothing and it feels really loose. This is something that I found was quite a big problem in the modern Civic and CR-V as well, where it's just super vague on center and you're not getting anything through the wheel at all. Like, it is standard electronic steering. It's not doing a whole lot. It kind of sucks in general, but this is even worse than normal. And I found it really difficult to sort of like hold a line in a corner and keep it nice and tight, and instead I would kind of just not really know what's going on in the front wheels and sort of slipping around. It could definitely be improved, but for the people that are buying this car, they probably are not going to care, and they'll just turn on lane centering and be like, okay, the car does it now, cool. What is exceptionally well tuned though is the suspension. It feels very nice and comfortable when you go over bumps. It also isn't bouncing like some of the under-damped luxury SUVs will be. And for a car like this, the handling is really quite good. So excellent work there, Toyota. What's pretty good though is the sound system. In here we have an 800-watt 9-speaker sound system from JBL, and it sounds pretty decent. This is definitely the one that you want though. Not because JBL did a good job, but because Toyota did a fucking terrible job on the 6-speaker. It is not acceptable to have that kind of a sound system in 2025. So step up to the JBL because it's at least decent. For driver's assists, you get all kinds. In here we have Toyota's Safety Sense 4.0, and the quality of those assists run the gamut from absolutely incredible to the 6-speaker sound system in a 2026 Toyota RAV4. The adaptive cruise is excellent. It is very confidence inspiring. It keeps a nice distance to the car in front of you, and also in general, I like Toyota's adaptive cruise. It's a little bit more conservative, which is what I want. The lane keep assist is perfectly fine. I haven't been scared using it, which is better than some brands, but at the same time, I would just turn it off. And also, if you're on a really straight road, it seems like that it wants some little inputs from you to know that you're paying attention, and it gets pretty mad pretty fast if you're just driving straight and not doing anything to the wheel. One thing that is really neat though is Toyota's Eco Adaptive Cruise, aka NASCAR mode. We can come in here and change the mode. Hey, wait, how do I change the mode? Mode. Eco. Oh, I got 4 stars! Hell yeah! Basically what this is doing is it is picking a good car to draft, and then it is scoring you on how much fuel you are saving by drafting the car, and it adjusts the distance to the person in front of you to maximize the reduced wind drag. It is actually really neat. I like it. What's not so good though are the nannies, in particular the cross traffic alert. This has annoyed the hell out of me in every single Toyota that I have driven for the last while, and it's just as bad with 4.0. Basically, if there's a car driving in front of you, it will alert you that they are there, which in theory is pretty good, but in practice, once you start kind of going out to join traffic, it's like, ah, there's traffic! And then you're like, oh, the car is getting really mad, and then maybe you screw up getting into traffic. Just please, like, go to the Toyota dealership and have it disabled. It turns back on after you disable it in the safety settings. Toyota, please just allow us to unclick it once and have it not come back on, because it's pretty friggin' terrible. Oh no! The truck moved away and I don't have my eco points anymore. I need to find someone to draft. I will be using so much fuel, even though the fuel economy, this is actually fantastic. Toyota did a really good job on that. In the LE, you're able to get 5.4 liters per 100 kilometers. And with the Woodland, with its, you know, roof racks and bigger tires, it goes up to 6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is still absolutely fantastic. One neat little thing that they did is they have tiny little flaps that deploy around 70 kilometers per hour to make there be less drag caused by your front tires. One thing I'm a little bit curious about is that Toyota said that the integration between your digital dash and your infotainment touchscreen is much greater now. But if I restart the infotainment, does my digital dash? No, it's totally fine. Okay, that's cool. Oh, my map went away. That makes sense. But all of the actual driving stuff is still there, so that is nice to see. Before I make any conclusions about the 6th gen RAV4, I just need to check on one thing. Is the cabin air filter still super easy to get to? Come in here, squeeze these tabs, push the whole thing down. Very nice and easy, and there is our cabin air filter. It's still super easy, and this car is still fantastic. How fantastic is it though? I have no clue. They won't tell us the pricing. So if it's a little bit more expensive than the last one, then great. If it's a lot more expensive than the last one, then I don't know, get a CRV. You won't do that. You'll just get a RAV4 still. Just like you'll hit like, get subscribed, and have a great old day. Our Patreon's the best way to support us, and let us know if you like this sort of press coverage somewhere else. See you later.